In this episode, I'll be sharing what I've learned about Halle Tanner Dillon Johnson, born on October 17, 1864, died on April 26, 1901, notable physician, nationality, American. Halle Tanner was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the eldest daughter of her parents' 9 children. Her father, Benjamin Tucker Tanner, was an AME minister who later became a bishop. Tanner's mother, Sarah Elizabeth Miller Tanner, would give birth to 9 children, 2 of whom died in infancy. When the Tanners moved to Philadelphia, their home became a gathering spot for local and visiting Black intellectuals. As a result, Tanner received a good formal education, but was also exposed to the philosophies of intellectuals of the time. While Tanner would become notable in her own right, her family also produced other prominent figures. Her brother, Henry Ossawa Tanner, became a world-famous painter. Her niece, Sadie Tanner Marcel Alexander, was America's first Black female Ph.D. In 1886, Tanner married Charles E. Dillon, and a year later the couple welcomed a baby girl who they named Sadie. Unfortunately, after only 2 years, their marriage ended tragically when Charles died from pneumonia complications. Now a widow at the age of 24, Tanner Dillon returned to her parents' home in Philadelphia. Shortly after her return home, Tanner Dillon decided to become a doctor. She enrolled at the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania, where she studied for 3 years. Tanner Dillon was the only Black person in her class of 36 students and completed her MD with honors in 1891. When Booker T. Washington wrote to the school in search of a Black physician who could teach at the Tuskegee Institute while also providing care for students, staff, and residents of the local community, Tanner Dillon was suggested as a candidate. Washington had struggled for 4 years to fill the position, which Tanner Dillon accepted at a salary of $600 per month with room and board. Tanner Dillon moved from Pennsylvania to Tuskegee, Alabama in August 1891. While Tanner Dillon had completed her medical studies, she was still required to pass the Alabama State Medical Examination to practice in the state. Tanner Dillon was born a few months before the end of the American Civil War. While she received a great education in Pennsylvania, access to a quality education remained beyond the reach of many Black people in the South. Also, many women, regardless of race, did not have advanced educations. Alabama's medical exam was considered to be one of the nation's toughest. Few Black men and no women of any race had passed the exam. Tanner Dillon, sitting for the exam, generated attention because she was Black and a woman. Washington made arrangements for Tanner Dillon to study for the exam with Dr. Cornelius Nathaniel Dorset, Montgomery's first Black physician, as well as other Black doctors. Tanner Dillon sat for the 10-day exam and impressed the examiners with her knowledge and preparation. When Tanner Dillon passed the exam, she became Alabama's first female physician of any race. Her performance was cited in the Medical Association of the State of Alabama's 1892 journal. Tanner Dillon spent the next 3 years at Tuskegee providing care for 450 students, 30 staff members, and the community. In addition to teaching and operating a private practice, Tanner Dillon established Tuskegee's nursing school and a pharmacy where she mixed medicines for locals. During all this activity, Tanner Dillon met Reverend John Quincy Johnson, a member of the staff. The two married in 1894, and Tanner Dillon became Dr. Halle Tanner Dillon Johnson. Over the next few years, the couple had 3 sons. The family made several moves across the East as Reverend Johnson accepted academic positions and continued his education. The family settled in Nashville, where Reverend Johnson had accepted a position as pastor of an AME church. Unfortunately, Dr. Halle Tanner Dillon Johnson died the following year on April 26, 1901 from childbirth complications. Thanks for tuning in. Show notes and sources are available on the website via the link in the episode description. I'm working on creating downloadables and infographics, so keep an eye on the website. These Black History Facts are released every Wednesday, so if you enjoyed this episode and want more, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and check out my Black History Facts playlist.